Let's talk more about the Bekkersdal Tavern mass shooting. Bring into the conversation Senior Training Coordinator with the Institute for Security Studies, Willem Els. Willem, welcome back to SABC News. Always good to have your time. So this is the second mass shooting at a drinking spot, a tavern, or Shebeen in Gauteng, just this month. What exactly is going on here?
Good evening to you. Yes, as you mentioned, second one in less than 3 weeks. And, if you look at South Africa and the phenomenon here, it is not unique to South Africa. It also appears what happens in some of your Southern American countries. But what we see here is that it's uniquely very pervasive here in South Africa in the frequency of these attacks, whether it is connected to illegal mining, to extortion, to various different kinds of crime. It seems that it became the go-to method for scores to be settled.
But why taverns in particular as the setting for these attacks? Because in Soulsville, 12 people, including a child, were killed in a shooting at a Shebeen there. And now you've got these 9 people killed in Bekkersdal over this past weekend.
Yeah, what we see is, with the organized crime syndicates, whenever they have been out on a hit or they want to celebrate their successes, they normally gather at a shebeen, whether it's informal, illegal shebeen or legal one as this one. Then they celebrate it, and then they also wait for these people to be quite intoxicated. You see at the time of the day, it was just after 1 o'clock in the morning when they moved in, when their guard was lower. But that is one of the modus operandi and how they do it. But what we also see traditionally around your taverns, especially in the townships, we see that your crime levels are much higher there than a few blocks away. So maybe that is some way and something that our local police stations can look at and up their game when it comes to the policing around these taverns.
And let's talk about what would have to happen then if indeed this is linked to organized crime and is not just a random incident where gun-toting men go into an establishment and kill people for the sake of it. What would need to happen to be able to clamp down on this sort of crime when you consider just the spread and the number of taverns and shebeens in this country? How do you even begin to do that?
Well, in the first place, it starts with intelligence. It is clear that we didn't have any intelligence or crime intelligence on this one, and that is why it was allowed to happen. So we will have to maybe up our game when it comes to gathering intelligence on these different gangs, because there are not so many of them. If our people started to zero in on them and then start to gather intelligence on them, we might even be able to act proactively instead of acting reactively, like happening here. So that is the first thing. And secondly, I think we have to look at more sort of a concentrated effort. Whenever we criticize the national commissioner, we criticize the minister, we criticize all the big people up there for strategies and all of those things. But these things can be managed at a station level. Your station commissioner is in charge of that area. She's responsible for that area. We need to engage with them, and the communities need to engage with them. Because at the end of the day, they are there to serve the communities. We've got the community forums in place. And if the policemen are not doing what they're supposed to do, they should report them to the station commissioner and they should demand action. So there should be more engagement between your communities and your local station commissioner in order to restore the trust, but also to cooperation. Because these people, they are the eyes and ears of the police within these areas.
And is there enough capacity, especially within the police service, for the sort of investigative work that is required here, especially in Gauteng, where we are seeing this apparent trend of tavern shootings? I'm reminded of 2022, I think it was, when we saw something similar happen at a tavern in Soweto.
Yeah, in the police, we all know that your investigative capability of the police is severely underpowered. It's a challenge. They are working on training these people. They are working on resources, but we are really not where we need to be or where we want to be. So what we see, what is happening here is normally, they said, the acting provincial commissioner will visit, and what they normally do then, they assemble a task team, and that task team has got more resources, but also specialized skills when it comes to investigation. We saw that happened after the Soulsville shooting some 3 weeks ago, and we also saw that earlier today, there was an arrest and the confiscation of an illegal firearm and ammunition based on that work. So if they do that, chances of success is there, yes.
And Willem, I wonder if you've got any reading in terms of this apparent increase in international news media's interest in these tavern shootings. I was looking, just for example, at what would largely be domestic news services in the United States that have also picked up on a story such as what happened in Bekkersdal. Is that pure coincidence?
I don't think it's a pure coincidence. If you look at South Africa, we sit with about 63, 64 murders per day. That is way, way, way above the average in the world. It is on the very high end of this. We sit with South Africa as number 7 when it comes to criminality in the world. So we are one of the most violent countries when it comes to crime. So more and more these incidents are drawing the attention of the international media, because not only of the pervasiveness of it, but also due to the cruelty of these acts.
Willem Els, good to talk to you.